gentlemen, you remember me? What?
Hey YouTube, so today I'm going to do basically a mini tutorial on sewing at the back with braids at the top. So for this particular client, which is actually my sister-in-law today, but she tried to color her bundles herself at home, and it didn't turn out the color that we need. So her hair is like a red, and as you see, these bundles are definitely not red. So first I'm going to go ahead and lighten the hair just enough so I'm able to go ahead and put the red on, so it'll take and it'll be the same color as her actual hair. Now when you're putting the lightener on to lighten the hair, you want to make sure that you're getting all up in there. Like, I'm literally pulling the hair apart and making sure that I'm getting all up in there, because if you leave any of that hair without lightener on, it's not going to take, and then the hair will be splotchy. So you want to make sure that you are getting all up in there, and me, I added a little more developer because I wanted to make it a little more creamier consistency. I felt like it was pretty thick. And then once you finish, you just wrap it up in your foil and then you sit it to the side. Now, you don't typically have to wrap it in foil. I like to wrap it in foil because I feel like it makes it process a little bit faster, especially when you're having multiple people in a day and you're kind of on a time crunch. Now, typically for most of my clients, when they come in, we do a shampoo and blow dry first. However, she had just washed her hair the day before because she had recolored her roots. So for her, I didn't need to shampoo her. So I'm just stretching out her hair right now. Stretching it out just to get it as straight as possible for when I start to braid it down. And now I am just sectioning the hair off for the style. So I'm going to do a ear to ear part, just to separate the top part from where the braids will be versus the back part where the sewing will be. And now I am going to put the red dye onto the highlighted hair, just so we can get it the color of her natural hair. And me, I've been doing this for a little minute, so I'm kind of like just squirting it on there and massaging it through with my fingers. However, if you are a beginner and you're more of a messy stylist, you may want to get the color brush in a bowl and dip and apply. But me, I've been doing it for a little minute, so I'm just squirting it on there, massaging it in and getting it through. But you do what works for you, because I'm going to do what works for me. And now I am going to start the braid pattern for the back, where the sewing will be. So basically when I do my braid pattern, I do a small braid where the leave out will be, just because I want the top track to be as flat to the scalp as possible. And then all of the other braids, and then I do a braid going around the perimeter. And then all of the other braids I do going down and like connecting, something like you would do for wig braids. And the reason that I do the braid around the perimeter first is because usually when you get wig braids and you put that braid going back the opposite way, typically what that does is it pulls at the back of your hair, and then your hair start to kind of like fall out, or break off, for better words. So that's why I do the braid at the bottom, and then I go and do like the wig braids in the middle. And since we basically bleached this hair twice, I'm going to go in with some silicone mix just to bring it back to life a little bit, because it is very, very, very dry from all of the processing. So just to give it a little shake back, I'm going to go ahead and put this silicone mix on it, and I'm going to put it in a bag and let that sit for 3 minutes, and then I'm going to wash that off. And now I am prepping the thread for the sew-in. And when I do my thread, I put it through the needle, and then I cut it, and then I do like a little knot on it. So now that I have the thread on the needle, I'm just basically sealing the end piece into it. So I'm just sewing that braid up into the other braids. And then of course I gotta oil the scalp. And then after I finish oiling the scalp, I'm gonna go ahead and start laying the tracks on there. So when I do my sew-ins and the hair is wet, I blow dry the hair section by section. So now that I have this section in, or this bundle in, I'm gonna go ahead and blow dry it, just so it'll be easier and I don't have so much hair to blow dry at one time. So now that I have both bundles in, so we only use 2 bundles for this style. So now that I have both bundles in, I'm gonna go ahead and start braiding the top of the hair. And side note, my camera did go out. I didn't realize it had went out. And by the time it came back, I had already finished this side. So yeah, my bad. Now I'm just straightening the bundle hair, because we're gonna go for the slick, sleeky, silky hair. So I'm just straightening the hair right now. So after I finish straightening all the hair, I'm gonna go ahead and trim it, because we did do a lot of color into it. So the ends is like really, really, really thin. I really don't know if it's the hair, the type of hair, because towards the top is really, really full, but at the bottom it was thin. So we're just gonna go ahead and cut it off so it can look real even and not so thin and fragile at the ends. After I finish trimming it, I'm gonna go back in with the flat iron just to reinforce everything and get it looking nice and sleek at the ends. And then after I finish that, I'm gonna go ahead and dip the braids. Yes, I'm still gonna dip the braids, because we still want them to be sleek and still have some type of motion to them. So I'm gonna go ahead and dip the braids in some boiling water, and then that'll be it. And this is the final look. I hope you guys enjoyed the video. If you did and you would like to see more, just subscribe to my channel. And also don't forget to follow on TikTok, Instagram, and Facebook. Till next time.